What is up, everyone, and welcome back to even more Umineko. In the previous recording session, we were essentially just introduced to everyone. The last recording session was just one big introduction to the cast. You know, we met Kinzo, the big head of the family, his 4 children, their spouses, and then the 4 cousins, as well as the servants within the house. So pretty much just one big introduction, and just getting a feel for them and their personalities and whatnot. The last big moment that we left off on, I believe, was when the 3 younger siblings ganged up on Kraus to try to get him to, float him some cash, and then he flipped it back on him. He's like, "Oh, I know why you people need some cash, right? Don't try to play me. I know what's going down here." So pretty much we learned that all the siblings, all of Kinzo's children, are just absolute garbage. All of them. Rosa seems potentially redeemable. Like, she wasn't too awful during that whole interaction, but I feel like there's definitely going to be something that comes up here in the future that's definitely going to be like, make me not like her. I'm sure of it. Because if the other 3 siblings are garbage, I can only imagine. But, yeah, I believe that's about where I left off, so without further ado, let's pick up right where I left off. Oh yeah, and then Kraus's wife, like, lost her shit. Because Kraus is getting ganged up on. So apparently we learned that even though she's very collected most of the time, she snaps when Kraus is implicated in some less than ideal things. Honestly, and also I have no idea who's talking now. Quite an entertaining scheme. Well then, what are the conditions they've attached? Well, whether or not Kraus-sama actually discovers the gold, he'll pay Eva-sama, Rudolph-sama, and Rosa-sama a total of 7.5 billion yen for their shares. However, 10% of that will be paid before March. Okay, Kinzo was reading this. Gotcha. Okay. Kraus, you dunce. To think he would have his feet swept out from under him by his younger siblings. How truly amusing. But it sounds as though they tripped when going in for the kill, yes? Yes. Kraus-sama exposed the fact that Eva-sama and the younger siblings all have an urgent need to get money. Is there even any need to expose such obvious facts? That irresolute, incompetent man. What are they doing now? That conversation has been put on hold for the time being. Now Beatrice-sama's epitaph is being discussed. So they're trying to solve the riddle and find out where my gold is hidden. Yes. Kinzo sat down his spectacles and snorted. Will the miracle be fulfilled first? Or will those fools expose the gold first? What a show this will be. The very moment those fools solve my puzzle, I will suffer utter defeat. They can suck my corpse down to the last fragment of bone. The greed of fools can allow great magic to bring forth a miracle. And yet, if the fulfillment of the miracle comes first, if it comes first, Beatrice will be resurrected again. The smile I've been chasing after my life will be restored. Oh, Beatrice! Soon will come the sacred night when we shall bet upon a miracle, and the game of demons shall begin. Whoa, game of demons, that's intense. I will surely prove triumphant and survive. I'll let you have the lives of all those others. I don't need wealth or honor or assets or gold or anything. All I want is to see your smile one last time. Kinzo choked, apparently in great pain. Ganon got closer and tried to pat his master's back, but Kinzo motioned for him to stop. Do you know why I went to the trouble of exposing the hidden location of the gold in a place that everyone can see? No. It is because magical power is determined by risk. If the number of people who try to discover Beatrice's gold is great, and the danger of them succeeding is great as well, then the power of magic will bring about a grand miracle if we succeed despite the odds. In other words, magic is a game. It is not the case that the one who performs the best becomes the victor. The victor performs the best because he has been granted magic. Do you see? It is similar to how the miracle of life can be granted only after winning against the divine odds of several 100,000,000 to 1. Is this a little difficult for you?
My apologies.
That's fine. It all comes down to this. I will give all that I have built up to the one who solves the mystery of Beatrice's epitaph. Wealth, honor, gold, and the inheritance of the Ushiromiya family. Everything that I have established. My children certainly aren't the only ones with the right to attempt to solve this riddle. Anyone who solves the riddle will have the right to gain everything. Even you.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. No, this is still canon.
However, I couldn't possibly understand such a difficult riddle.
Of course. I made it difficult. But you must try to solve it as well. That will form the seed that summons the miracle of my magic. If everyone attempts it and everyone fails, that will be that. However, if the miracles come together and give birth to magical power, it will happen. Beatrice will revive. That is why you must attempt it too. Everyone must attempt it. And in so doing, they will give strength to my magic. Do you understand?
Yes. I will try.
For a long while, Kinzo repeatedly muttered to himself, agitated and clutching at his head. Kanon stayed where he was, alert and unmoving, until he was given the next order from his master. Kinzo eventually realized this. Very well. Leave me. There's a bag of sweets on the liquor cabinet. You can take some with you as a reward.
I'm fine. After all, I am furniture.
So furniture doesn't eat sweets? Well, I suppose it stands to reason. In that case, leave me.
Yes. Excuse me.
Okay. Kanon bowed and left the study. As the door closed, a heavy locking noise sounded out. Okay. But it was not the sound of Kanon locking the door. It was the door locking automatically. No one could enter without Kinzo's permission, and once they left, they could not enter again. It was a mechanism that Kinzo, unable to trust his blood relatives, had created to seal himself up in his own study and isolate himself from the outside world. He was already unable to trust anyone excepting not the children who shared his blood, but those servants who called themselves furniture. Interessante. Nanjo-sama, how are you feeling?
Oh, Genji-san. No, it's just that there's no place for me to be anymore.
With a bitter laugh, Nanjo turned to face the door to the parlor. That look was apparently enough to tell Genji what Nanjo wanted to say. For the most part, Genji also understood the family situation. It must have made him want to frown, knowing that right now in the lounge the master he served was being discussed so disrespectfully. It would have been very difficult to gather that from his indifferent expression.
Still, I don't understand. Why did Kinzo-san have something so provocative written, I wonder?
Nanjo looked at the portrait of Beatrice. No, he actually directed his gaze beneath the portrait, at the plate with the epitaph. I do not presume to understand the master's thoughts. However, I'm sure he had a deep reason for doing so.
Since long ago when Kinzo-san played chess, he would always prepare his moves according to some far-reaching judgment. Sometimes even to make moves I couldn't understand. For an average person like me, it was impossible to see through whatever it was he was planning. Sometimes I wonder if this might be some kind of will in the master's...
Oh, that was Genji. Sometimes I wonder if this might be some kind of will in the master's eyes. Perhaps he wishes to hand over his wealth and the title to the one who can understand it.
So you think he may have wanted the four siblings to work together and solve the riddle, before some outsider like myself solved it. Kinzo-san may speak of his children in insulting terms. Perhaps he also wants them to repair their relationship.
It certainly would be heartwarming if, as Nanjo suggested, this epitaph had been made to repair the siblings' relationship. However, both Nanjo and Genji knew that nothing could be more impossible than this. They'd known Kinzo longer than anyone, and Kinzo trusted them more than his own relatives. but even they could not guess at his true motives. The Master always says that everyone has the right to try and solve the riddle, even if they aren't a member of his family. What about you, Dr. Nanjo?
Oh no, it's a little too difficult a puzzle for this senile old man. Actually, I once wrote this epitaph down on my notebook. Night after night I would try to solve it before going to sleep. But, it really is hard. It looks like we might have some free time to relax and consider it before someone comes to get us. What do you say, Genji-san?
I am nothing more than furniture in service to the Master. Golden assets are unnecessary to me.
Ah, you're very modest. I imagine that's why Kinzo-san trusts you so much.
If so, I am honored. As Nanjo lightly laughed in response, he once again looked at the epitaph. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. The epitaph on the portrait called My Beloved Witch Beatrice goes as follows. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key. As you travel down it, you will see a village. In that village, look for the shore the two will tell you of. There sleeps the key to the golden land. The one who obtains the key must then travel to the golden land in accordance with these rules. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. Okay, where is this epitaph located? I see nothing. When they show images of like this picture on the wall, like I see nothing below this image that would have like this much fucking text on it. Excuse you. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the two who are close. Off of the 6 chosen. Goddamn, I'm meant to remember this shit, aren't I? On the third twilight, those who remain shall praise my noble name. On the fourth twilight, gouge the head and kill. Jesus. On the fifth twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the sixth twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the seventh twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the eighth twilight, gouge the leg and kill. On the ninth twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. On the 10th twilight, at journey end, you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures, once and for the last time. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. One shall be the resurrection of all the dead souls. One shall be the resurrection of the love that was lost. One shall be to put the witch to sleep for all time. Sleep peacefully, my beloved witch Beatrice. That is a fucking long-ass fucking riddle. Air quotes on that. Like, goddamn. That's like a whole-ass just fucking prophecy. Wow, my face itches. Like... No, like, the grandpa left us this really weird riddle. Like, no, man, that's a prophecy. That's some crazy... On the 8th night, fucking gouge the leg and kill. Like, goddamn. Why so much kill? So in the 10th twilight, the journey ends, and you reach the Golden Land. You really are diligent, Maria. You did a good job writing this all down.
Ugh, I forget a lot, so I always write things down. Mama told me to.
There was a notebook inside the handbag Maria was always carrying around, and Beatrice's epitaph was copied onto it. Thanks to that, we were all able to challenge the puzzle of the epitaph while walking down this beach. Jessica and the rest had already tried to solve it several times, and had already gotten bored with it. However, since this was the first for me, I was so excited that I couldn't stop. It really tickled my sense of adventure. Let's start with the first line. Behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. Where was grandfather's hometown again? I heard that before the war, the Ishiramiya family had a mansion near Odawara, which makes you want to know which sweet fish river flows through Odawara, right? Yeah, because that river would be the starting place. Anyone searching for the Golden Land would head down that and search for the key. What's this river in Odawara? Does it have sweet fish swimming in it? If you're looking for sweet fish in Odawara, it'd have to be in Hayakawa. It's famous for its mountain stream fishing.
Ugh, I hate fish.
Maria, you'll understand when you get a bit older. Lick, 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 salty roasted sweet fish. Don't know what that means. Yummy. Even though we just ate, I'm getting hungry again.
Shall I bring you a biscuit?
Huh? Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. Don't mind it. Shannon-chan was faithfully keeping us company since she didn't have any afternoon chores for a while. I would have thought that since she's a servant, accompanying us would force her to take care of us and tire her out, but that didn't seem to be the case for her. On the contrary, she seemed to enjoy joining in on a conversation with people close to her age. When I asked, I heard that she was the sort of worker whose room and board were supplied by her employer. So normally the only person close to her in age was Jessica. Yeah, I can imagine how that might be pretty dull. Okay, so I get that the sweet fish-filled river near Odawara is Hayakawa. In that case, we've got to go down it. Do you find anything if you head down Hayakawa River?
If you follow it downstream, you'll arrive at the ocean.
Now, of course, you reach the mouth of the river. And the third line of the epitaph was, as you travel down it, you will see a village. By the way, since long ago, the mouths of the rivers have been key points in transportation, and large cities tend to be built there. That'd be the next checkpoint. That's a pretty good theory. Just like you guessed, there's an old city there that was very prosperous in ancient times. That's where Odawara Castle is.
I think I might have gone to Odawara Castle on a field trip once. It really was a wonderful castle.
Yeah, I also went there. Even though I live in a Western-style house, it's true that Japanese people feel calmer with a Japanese layout.
Ugh, castles are boring. Theme parks are better.
Hell yeah, you tell them what's up, Maria.
Ugh.
I see. Okay. If we find the gold, the great battler Sama will generously reserve a whole theme park for a day and let you play in it. Still, Odawara Castle, huh? The hidden gold of Odawara Castle. Oh. It's actually starting to sound pretty good. Well, we figured out that much 2 years ago. The village down the river where the sweet fish swim in Odawara. We figured it was probably somewhere near Odawara Castle. The problem is the next line. Okay, well, let's see where Battler's strange reasoning can take him. Jessica grinned broadly. She seemed to be implying that she would have solved the puzzle long ago if it was that easy. Damn it. I'll definitely find it and keep it all for myself. The fourth line. In that village, look for the shore the two will tell you of. I don't know what it means by the two, but anyway, the shore. What does it mean by the shore? No, wait. Is there any place near with shore or kishi in its name?
I've heard there's a place called Sogakishi in Odawara.
Huh? Wow. You sure know a lot about it. What could that mean? Shannon-chan, are you trying to solve the riddle and get the gold too? That makes us rivals.
It's not like I'm interested in gold. It's just that George-sama told me about it before.
That's because we reached the same conclusion 2 years ago. We even went to the trouble of laying out a map and looking it up. It was about 5 kilometers to the north of Odawara. We definitely found a place called Sogakishi there. However, after that we get stuck. The fifth line doesn't say where the key is hidden in that place. Maria-chan, could you read it for us?
There sleeps the key to the golden land. I could read it.
Hell yeah. Sogakishi is probably large, and there wasn't ever any house built there by the Ishiramiya family. Not much we can do to find a key in such a vast area without any hints. You're right. And without the key, we can't advance to the next line. George Aniki, what kind of place is this Sogakishi? Let's see. I've never been there, so I don't really know, but according to the map, it's in the mountains. I'm pretty sure it was at the base of Mount Asama. Something doesn't feel right. You'd expect a riddle pointing the way to the hidden gold to be a bit more exact. I get the feeling that even the part about Sogakishi was a mistake. Well, I think it could be Sogakishi. It could be talking about some house that grandfather lived in when he was a kid that we don't know about. After all, the first line mentioned his beloved hometown.
Shannon, you've served grandfather alcohol and stuff lots of times, right? Hasn't he ever talked to you about his past?
The master almost never speaks of the past. However, he talks of the great Kanto earthquake as though it was someone else's story. So he may have been living far away from the Kanto area.
The Ushiromiya family may have been living in Odawara, but not all the branch families were. Grandfather often called himself part of a branch family, at least connected to the successor. And that means the beloved hometown might not even be Odawara at all. I've never heard anything about grandfather's hometown, and I doubt he'd actually tell me if I asked. If the so-called beloved hometown isn't referring to the Ushiromiya family's roots, then the Odawara theory is wrong from the beginning. And of course, this doesn't completely remove the possibility that it was Sogakishi. For example, perhaps he lived in Odawara when he was very young, but then moved far away later.
I don't understand what you're all talking about.
Maria had been completely left out of the conversation. She now sat puffing out her cheeks in boredom.
So basically, if we can't even agree on the starting point for this dice game of gold, we're totally stuck. But wait. After the first 5 lines, the thing we end up finding is a key, right? Even if you don't have a key, it's always possible to bust through a door. Can't we just skip the first 5 lines and start figuring out the rest? I hadn't thought of that. Oh well, we're just wasting time anyway. Let's hear the rest of Battler's reasoning.
But in the next part it gets dark really fast.
Shannon-chan frowned slightly. After looking back at Maria's notebook to recall what was written there. Yeah, I was forced to agree. On the first twilight, offer the 6 chosen by the key as sacrifices. It sure does get horrible quickly. On the second twilight, it says to tear apart the 2 who are close. Does that mean to make them break off their loving relationship? Or does it mean to literally tear them apart? Oh no, but either way, it's pretty disgusting. Even if we set that second line aside, it mentions 6 people for the first twilight, then 5 people for the 4th through 8th twilights. So at least 11 people must be sacrificed.
They're sacrifices to revive Beatrice.
I see. Sacrifices to restore the witch. Yeah, that's what it'd mean. Near the end, the witch will be revived on the 9th twilight. That last part is guaranteed.
On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive. So everyone will die in the end.
And after that, the 10th twilight is the goal line. Not sure how you're supposed to reach the gold land if everyone's dead by then. Depending on how you interpret it, the traveler who holds the key may or may not be included in the none shall be left alive part.
But at the end, there's something pretty interesting. After reaching the goal, the witch gives out 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold. The problem is the next one. It says the dead souls will be resurrected, right? Doesn't that sound like it means everyone who died in the earlier lines?
If you put it like that, then the part about reviving lost love might refer to the pair torn apart on the second twilight.
That's right. And the 4th one refers to the 9th twilight. The 4th treasure is putting the witch, revived on the 9th twilight, to sleep. If we put a happy spin on all this, it'll be hectic with people dying and breaking up all over the place, but it'll all be made right in the end. The awakened witch will sleep again, and everything will be like it was at the start, except for the huge pile of gold. Oh, let's take my dosages.
The witch must be pretty busy, with all the killing, reviving, breaking up, and reuniting people.
Not to mention waking up and sleeping.
Sheesh, just when the tale of the hidden goal was getting interesting, now it gets pretty dubious once the witch starts showing up. Sure. Titra. I laughed along with Jessica. After all, the idea of a witch was just too ridiculous. Of course, once we started laughing like that, Maria, who believed in the witch, got angry.
The witch is incredible. She can do anything with magic. Even kill. Even bring back to life. Even give love. Even take it. She can fly in the sky, can become invisible, can even make gold and bread out of nothing.
Dang. My bad, we were just joking.
Jessica apologized, sticking out her tongue, but Maria didn't accept it. She grabbed her notebook back out of my hands and, opening some other pages, tried to prove that the witch existed. Those pages had colorful drawings of witches on them.
and well conveyed the fantastical image Maria had of witches. It wasn't the normal sinister image of a crooked-nosed hag flying around on a broom, but a dreamlike person with unnatural powers who could do anything and wore a beautiful dress. It was just what you'd expect from an imaginative young girl. Flitting through the sky, crossing a rainbow, dancing around all night with a teacup and a teapot that would never get empty no matter how much you poured out of it. With a flourish of her staff, the stars in the sky would become candy and pour down, and flowers that produced sweets would bud by the roadside. To Maria, witches were the only concept that could embody the magical dream that so captivated her. As she grew older, it was the last remaining thing that could give richness to her dull and plain everyday life. That's why Maria believed in witches. She didn't want that dream of hers to be tarnished. That's why she didn't want anyone to tarnish the epitaph, which affirmed the existence of witches. Because the witch named Beatrice is Maria's dream. To Maria-chan, the epitaph isn't a guide to the hidden gold, but magic to revive the witch.
So it was the single link between Maria and the witch. Maria was very angry and clung to George Aniki. Jessica and I scratched our heads and apologized. It might not be possible to smooth things over again like the time she got mad in front of the portrait. Maria didn't seem willing to be easily consoled. Unlike Jessica and I, who hung our heads wondering what to do, Shannon-chan timidly opened her mouth.
Maria-sama, did you know? There's a ghost story about Beatrice that's been passed down amongst the servants. Yeah, that's right. Shona, tell us about it. I don't really know, but it's apparently pretty famous among the servants.
What is this? A ghost story? Yes. And it seems it's a story from before we were born. I also heard about it from my mother.
Yes. It has been passed down since the time of the mansion's construction. The servants of that time whispered that the mansion had two masters, one of the day and one of the night.
Dayman and Nightman?